Welcome back to my channel. Today, let's talk about what niches we have coming up in Q2 that you should be focusing on and what type of low content books would suit these niches. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Caroline and I make videos to help you master your mindset and make money online so that you can build a life you love. If you do enjoy watching videos like this, please take a moment to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to click the bell so that you do get a notification whenever I upload a new video just like this. Firstly, just to give a really brief overview of what Q2 is, if there is anybody watching this that doesn't know what I'm talking about. Basically in business or in e-commerce, the year is broken up into 4 quarters. So there are 12 months in the year divided by 4 quarters. So that's 3 months per quarter. So Q1 is January, February, and March. Q2 is April, May, and June. Q3 is July, August, and September. And Q4, which is probably what you would hear people talking about mostly, is October, November, December. And we're about to enter Q2. So I just wanted to have a look at what seasons or holidays we have coming up in Q2 and what are some good niches to create some low content books in. One thing to keep in mind when we are creating these seasonal or holiday books is that they are not going to make money year round. They are only going to have the possibility of making money once per year at that particular time of the season or that particular holiday. So while it might seem a little bit pointless making books for something that is only going to be popular for a couple of weeks or maybe a month or so, in reality, once you have created these books, you don't really have to do anything else with them, and they have the potential to earn you money each year after that and can give a nice little spike of income at certain times of the year when those holidays come around. And if you can do this at multiple times throughout the year at different holidays, then those little spikes of income can really add up by the end of the year. You also want to make sure that you are looking a couple of months in advance to create your books. You can't wait till the holiday is actually here or it's going to be this weekend or something like that and then try and upload a book to Amazon for it. You need to give it plenty of time, firstly, just to get approved by KDP, and then the book needs time to be picked up by the Amazon algorithm and make any sales and get a BSR. So let's take a look at what is coming up for April, May, and June. Now, we do technically have Easter falling into Q2, but it is possibly getting a little bit too late to start thinking about uploading Easter books and for it to be able to rank decently in the Amazon marketplace. So Easter books are already in super low BSRs. If you look at the bestseller page of books on Amazon, you'll see how many Easter books are ranking in the top 100. Now, obviously, these are not all low content books. They are some books with content, but you can see what I mean. Easter books are in their peak right now, and sales will start slowing soon. So the closer we get to Easter, the sales will slow down. So it may be better to focus on Easter for next year. If we do a quick search for Easter coloring book, you'll see that these books are already just selling masses of books per day. So it would be really hard to get to this level at this point when it's only, a week and a half at the time of doing this video till Easter. But it is definitely something that you can think about doing later in the year for Easter next year. Okay, so what else do we have coming up? Well, first of all, we have the change from winter to spring in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. So if we have a look at, I just typed in spring coloring books and Amazon came up with spring coloring books for kids. So as we can see, there are a couple of coloring books here targeting spring, and that's the same for the change in season, whether it's going summer to autumn, autumn to winter, winter to spring. Now, I'm not going into depth into each of these books. I'm not researching the books themselves or the niches. I just want to give you a heap of new ideas, new niche ideas that are going to be coming up for the next few months. So just something else to keep in mind and a note about when looking at these seasonal books, when you're looking at them in advance, when you're looking at them a couple months ahead or more, you aren't going to really be able to rely on the current BSRs, because a lot of the time you'll find that those BSRs are high and you might think, well, that book isn't making much money, so what's the point? But it has a high BSR because of the fact that that seasonal holiday is not here yet, so nobody's really buying it yet. And obviously, as the holiday gets closer, people will start looking for those books and start buying those books. And the closer we get to the holiday, the BSRs will start to climb. Now, something else we have in April is National Sibling Day. So this is where something like a notebook or a journal with best brother ever or best sister ever, but that type of thing could be made. Could that be made into a notebook or a journal? Something about how good your sibling is, or even as a joke book about how bad of a sibling they are. Something like that would be the type of thing that would come up for something like National Sibling Day. We have Earth Day coming up on April 22. I did a quick search for Earth Day notebook. There actually wasn't really much there in terms of Earth Day notebook, but if we do a search for Earth Day colouring book, we can see if there's anything there, or even something along the lines of an Earth Day activity book. So there are some colouring books here targeting Earth Day. And that's where you'll see the BSRs are quite high because it's not here yet. People probably aren't even thinking about Earth Day yet. And so those BSRs are going to be high because nobody's buying those books yet. Something we have in May is Cinco de Mayo, as well as Teachers' Day. Gifts for teachers and teacher appreciation gifts are extremely popular. When I was in school, we never ever thought about buying gifts for our teachers, but it is a big thing nowadays. I know pretty much every teacher gets gifts at the end of term or at the end of the year now. So if we just type teacher into the search bar, we'll see what comes up. So the first search result that we have coming up, suggested by Amazon, is teacher colouring book. We have a teacher planner, teacher grade book. I'm not sure if that's something that you could make as a low content book. We would have to look into that. So if we look at teacher colouring book, results wise, that's not too bad. Only 2,000 results for teacher colouring book. So you could create a colouring book targeted to teachers. And even though it's not Teacher Day yet, these are probably also quite good as an evergreen niche. The BSRs aren't really too bad, but I imagine as Teacher Day comes closer, they probably even get even better BSRs. So if we have a look at teacher planners, we can see if there's any books selling well already. They all sort of seem to be spiral bound ones so far, which aren't done through KDP, but there's a teacher planner book, good BSR. There's another teacher planner for 2021 to 2022. There's another one there. So that is something you could look at creating for targeting teachers, specifically on Teachers' Day. And we can look at teacher notebook. Has a lot of results, but you could try and niche down even more on this sort of thing, a teacher notebook. And so this is something that would usually be purchased as a gift for a teacher. So I've seen some really nice notebooks and journals targeting teachers and for Teacher Appreciation Day, which is a bit later on, I believe, in the year. Now in May, we also have Nurses' Day, and I have, throughout my research of all other different types of books, I have seen a trend in nurses' notebooks, journals, and logbooks on KDP. So you just do the same thing. We could type in nurse, so the first thing that comes up, nurse notebook, nurse journal, nurse gifts for women, or nurse planner. So nurse notebook's probably quite highly competitive as well, similar to the teacher niche. Actually, it's not. It's only got 1,000 results. But that search hasn't really brought up the kind of books that I was looking for. I was looking for more of notebooks with maybe phrases or this sort of thing, like a nurse in progress type of notebook. So that's the sort of thing I was thinking of when I typed in nurse notebook. So if we type in nurse planner, it comes up with 2,000 results. And so a planner targeted to nurses would probably be quite popular. Nurses are very passionate about their jobs. They work long hours, and so this is sort of like a necessity because they're very tired, because they work long hours. They probably need to write things down so they don't forget them. So that's a niche that you could look into a little bit further. Notebooks, planners, and journals. Now, Star Wars Day is also in May, but you would have to be very careful with that one. You don't want to infringe on any copyright, but if you can find a way to target Star Wars Day without having any copyright issues, I think that would be a really great niche to target. In May, we have the United States Mother's Day, so there will be lots of books coming out for Mother's Day. So Mother's Day notebooks, you have these nice serious ones, journals, and then you've got these funny ones. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again, love your second child. And with niches like this, Mother's Day niche, Father's Day niche, Grandparents' Day, stuff like that, sometimes it's a good idea to look at some stores which are hugely popular for gifts, particularly personalized gifts. You don't have to personalize your low content book, but they are really good for ideas. So places like Etsy, just head over there and do a search for Mother's Day or whatever day it is that you're researching, and see if there's anything that could be translated to a book. Now, you go have a look and you get ideas for inspiration only. Don't copy anyone else's stuff, but just have a look and see, are there any nice little poems that aren't created by that person, because you don't want to copyright and steal their poems. But sometimes there's phrases and quotes that are not under copyright that you could sometimes use. There's a book there, a book about my mum. You could do a notebook with something similar to this, Happy Mother's Day to an absolutely fabulous mum. If nanas were flowers, I'd pick you. That would be really cute on a journal or notebook as well. So don't always limit your research to Amazon. You can look at other sites like Etsy. You could look at other print-on-demand websites like Redbubble, Teespring, those sorts of places. A lot of the times what people are printing on t-shirts and things can be translated over onto notebooks and journals and things like that. And so for the rest of May, there is Armed Forces Day, there is National Wine Day, Memorial Day, and there is also Eid al-Fitr. I have probably pronounced that completely wrong, so I apologize if anybody is offended by my pronunciation of that, but it is a Muslim celebration also known as the Festival of Breaking the Fast at the end of Ramadan, so that is another niche that you could look into as well. Also, I am just focusing mainly on the US holidays here because I think most of us are targeting the US Amazon store when we create our books. But if you do target a different marketplace, just do a Google search for whatever holidays are in that particular country that you're going to be targeting. Now in June, we're getting close to summer, so you could look at what books could possibly be targeted towards summer, similar to what we looked at earlier with spring. In June, it is also Gay Pride Month, which I think could be a really good seasonal niche to target. World Environment Day falls in June, so that's similar to Earth Day, which I just looked at earlier in Q2. Now, another big one to target is Father's Day falling in June. So that's another big holiday. I say holiday, it's not a holiday, it's an event really, isn't it? A celebration. So you could just do similar things for this niche. Look at Father's Day. They've probably got very similar types of gifts on Etsy. So even funny things like this could go onto a notebook rather than a gift card. This sort of thing could be translated over to my favorite daughter gave me this notebook, gave me this journal, etc. So as you can see, there are lots of little seasonal holidays and seasonal trends and little holidays that you can target. And if you make sure that you get in early enough, at least a couple of months in advance of the holiday, then you can put yourself in a really great position to pick up these little spikes of sale at these times. If you did get some new niche ideas that you want to try out, please give this video a thumbs up so that I know to keep making more videos like this. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe.